All right, I'm gonna read this. All right, let's dig in. Feminista dos Santos started this petition. YouTube vlogger Austin Hollerman has made disrespectful videos about American women and Western women. He promotes traveling to underdeveloped countries to have sex with disadvantaged women. He cites Rush V as one of his idols, who at one point of time advocated roping women. A black feminist site, Mundo Negro, Black World, has condemned him for stereotyping Brazilian women as sexual objects. Making videos about how easy it is to get women or girls overseas is not only false but dangerous. Sex predators, mostly males, travel to poor countries and often recruit young girls into sex trafficking. Austin Hollerman has been making rounds on the internet lying to young men that finding a woman overseas is easier, and he gives consultation on how to sexually dominate women without consent. This type of rhetoric needs to end if nobody steps in to say something. The stuff Austin Hollerman is saying is hurtful and dangerous towards women. He's since been banned from TikTok, where he had over 24K followers. Tinder and Bumble permanently banned him from their service. All he has left is Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, spewing hate against American women. Help bring him down. And this goes on to list his social media accounts, which I cropped out.
Hell no, to the no, no, no. Yeah, to the no, hell to the no, to the no, no, no. Listen, when people talk about you, all you gotta do is let them talk much as they please. That's what they gonna do, y'all. Cause all you gotta do is get down on your knees. Tell the Lord about it. You tell God about it, and I guarantee you he will never leave you alone. Yeah. All you got to do is tell the devil, hell no, won't you leave me alone? Devil leave. Hell no. Come on, Wayne. To the no, no, no. Come on, come on. Hell to the no. To the no, no, no. Come on. Hell no.
All right. Before I really dig in or whatnot, in a previous video, I actually pointed out who was directly responsible for the things that Austin Hollerman was being accused of. Okay, I pointed that out and gave receipts and whatnot. And I'm not going to hash that out, but I posited that John Stagliano, an American, porn producer, a guy that owned his own company and made a mint off of Brazil, off exploiting Brazilian women, as these feminists like to say. They ain't got nothing to say about that. I'm going to keep pressing until I find a way to get some kind of answer from them. But I posited that John Stagliano was actually responsible for the bullshit that Austin Hollerman was being accused of. And before I go on into this commentary, I want to drop a story. All right, a brief story of shit. Okay, I have no fucks to give story about this shit. All right, I said that I had seen the very first videos that John Stagliano put out from Brazil, right? And I do recall, I can never forget it, okay? Because when I saw it, I knew something was wrong there. I knew I was looking at some kind of exploitation. But it wasn't John himself. John was filming, and they were doing this whole, the found footage thing that we see now, like the Blair Witch Project, and just the point of view. It's called Gonzo in the adult film world, and it was him. It was some Brazilian guys, and it was this guy named Rocco Sidifri. And, I don't know if I'm saying his name right. His name, we'll just call him Rocco. All right. So yeah, Rocco walking there. He's I looked at some videos last night. Inadvertently I discovered that a lot of dark-skinned Brazilian women prefer their men to be blonde, blue-eyed. Okay, so not exactly big on the melanin content. The darker some of these women are, the lighter they want their guys to be. They want blonde, blue eyes. Rocco fit the bill. Okay, Rocco was walking around. He was wearing like a collar, white t-shirts and white shorts, and everything else was white. He was wearing his little vacation gear. Looking like, I guess, a hunk. To these women. And Rocco had chatted up a woman, right? It was a Brazilian woman. She was like probably a Brazilian 5, but her body was like a 10. And I'll never forget this because they went back to the woman's apartment, and it looked like really an apartment, really an apartment in Brazil. It wasn't a hotel or anything, whatnot. But I'll never forget that they went back to the apartment and they were in there, and John was filming out the window, filming like the beach, because I guess she lived near the beach or something. She was somewhere near the beach. He was filming out the window, and then he went back. I guess they had worked something out, and he went back, and Rocco was in the bed with his clothes off, and he has like a giant phallus, and the woman was topping him off. I think I can say that the woman was giving him pleasure, and he wanted to have sex with the woman, but she's asked her for a condom. She visibly said condom and shit. You can hear her say condom. So it was, I guess, another Brazilian person in the room. They explained to Rocco that she wanted him to put on a condom, and he didn't want to wear a condom and shit. And he tried to play it off. He was still smiling, but you could see he was angry. And he ended up just engaging in frottage with her, as they say in France. That's basically a dry hump. While they talked her out of taking her pants off and her underwear, but he just did a dry hump and got his pleasure, and then he was out of there, man. And he looked kind of pissed off at, like, near the end of the video. You could see his face. He was mad as fucking shit. And and then later when John Stagliano caught HIV, I was thinking about that. I was really thinking about. I was like, man, that guy he wanted to run up in her raw, because he knew he was a tourist and he could go back to France and shit and not have to pay no child support or whatever if he knocked her up or gave her a social disease. And I was like, man, this dude, I wouldn't be surprised if this dude got infected or something. I was thinking about that back in the day and shit. And then John popped up and he had HIV, and they said he got it from a trans woman and shit in Brazil. And he actually put out a documentary that showed the trans woman that affected him. It was in a movie called Buddha, B-U-D-A, that he put out, where, it's apparently he has HIV because, he's like a great distance away from the action he's filming, And, I just think about that when, I'm thinking about it more today after listening to the baseless claims against Austin Holloman, who hasn't, he's made some YouTube videos and some social media posts and shit, but that is not nearly even a minute fraction of the damage that John Stagliano did over there and shit, according to the feminist complaints and shit. I go neither way, but I have to come down, I have to balance the scales here and shit. I want justice done in this situation, okay? Because Austin Holloman is not, he's not the man John Stagliano is or was. And John Stagliano is still alive. I want people to get on Stephanie Ribeiro's bumper and make her aware of John Stagliano and get an answer from her, okay? Get an answer. Somebody needs to sit her down and show her that scene, and show her a bunch of other scenes from there where they were actually talking to real Brazilian women and hooking up with them and shit. All right? You can tell who's who. You can tell who's a professional model, and you can tell the real ones and whatnot. Okay? I want an answer from Stephanie Ribeiro why she tries to run Austin Holloman off of social media. Then, I don't know. I don't know, man. We have no friends in the world, apparently. We have no fucking friends in the world. What you have here is a translated screenshot. I had to take it in pieces. But it's a translated screenshot of one of the websites, that's associated with the Brazilian feminist movement, okay? The feminist movement. And I want to say that they don't change their playbook across the planet, across the diaspora. It seems like a concerted effort to just fuck things up and shit. I don't know how to frame it and shit because I think it's fake feminism. I don't think it's true feminism in any regards and whatnot. There's no sense of altruism and shit. And they take their playbook right from the Black Lives Matter, situation. Okay, a lot of people don't know, but I had to baby walk this shit for the head cheeses out there. Black Lives Matter was backed by the minority majority. I'd say that a one percenter, and he used as his front men, three women. Okay, three women from the alternative community and shit. They came in, they strong armed local activists, and a couple of those activists were actually deleted. Actually, the actual real founder of Black Lives Matter was deleted. All right, and they came in and they drummed up a bunch of money, and they became a national media presence. They were assisted by by media and shit and news outlets and shit. Obviously, it's a setup and shit. The house always wins. But like it seems like the playbook never changes and shit, okay? They're trying to start some Black Lives Matter shit over there, and I don't know what they're gonna do about it. I really don't give a fuck. Well, not this is about a very what I'm talking about today is a very personal issue and shit, because I'm a straight black man and shit, and I would like other straight black men to have freedom of movement and shit. It's about restricting our movements. We can't have that and shit, okay? Or we'll have to go to extremes. All right? Mundo Negro, all right? Basically, it masquerades as some kind of a website, for, black. It's Mundo Brazil, it says here, the best content about black people in Brazil. But it's really a shell for, it's a feminist website. All right, it's an alternative community website too, I believe. Not gonna, push that shit, But it's connected to these assholes, It's connected to them. All right, and I'm just disgusted. I'm disgusted. You have the nerve. They always use us as the human shields. All right, they always use black people as the human shields for their bullshit. As a mask. I don't appreciate being exploited by Steffi Ribeiro and her Spanish cohorts over there. Okay, all the idiots, the melanated idiots over there. I don't appreciate it. Okay, you wanna say you're black and shit, but you racist. All right, when you take care of business over there, when you go do your due diligence and whatnot, you are very unprepared. I saw her in an interview with a divester, and a female black identity extremist and misandrist to the ninth degree. I saw that shitty ass interview. She was unprepared. She was unprepared. And she tried to front like she didn't speak English. When we all know she speaks English and whatnot. She's she's a public entity. She writes op-ed pieces. All right? You want to be black, but like, damn, I keep thinking about Paul Mooney and shit. He said that thing, everybody want to be a nigga, nobody wants to be a nigga and shit. And this is what we have here and shit. We got a bunch of racists and shit, fake feminist racists and shit, some assholes from the rainbow community over there. And they decided they want to pull a Black Lives Matter and shit, and they want to make Austin Holloman the tip of the spear and shit. And they're just not going to have it. I'm not going to fucking have it. No one's going to have it with any common sense and shit. Okay, you're disreputable, to say the least. Okay, and you and your cohorts will be exposed and shit. Okay, you'll be exposed. And maybe we'll make a petition to run you off the internet and shit. But I posit that common sense would dictate a more focused response to the egregious slander that I am seeing right here. And it's a Bush League as fuck. All right, Austin Hollerman or whatnot. I want to say that I'm not a subscriber to your channel, and I've seen some of your content, but mostly I've reacted to other people reacting to your content, whatnot, because it seemed like they, in their infinite ignorance and whatnot, they sought to do something that would have far-reaching repercussions, that would restrict the movements of black men, especially black men over here in the colonies, on the world stage. Okay, we just can't have that. Okay, we need to have an out. Okay, for whatever reason. All right, So Austin, I don't know if you'll ever see this or hear this and shit. But I know other people have echoed my sentiments and whatnot. I want to say, before I get started, I want to say that you should not have apologized. Okay, you should have called an attorney. Okay, after getting to safety, after leaving the country, you should have notified an attorney with your concerns, and you should have. I would hope that you've stockpiled all of your content. Okay, I would have hoped that you would stockpile everything. All right, everything, and pursue legal recourse. All right, these people are trying to stonewall you. They see you as low-hanging fruit, as blatant disrespect of you as an individual and us as a race, a segment of it. Okay, it has nothing to do with you traveling overseas. It has nothing to do. They simply want to make you a straw man for their agenda. Okay, you can't let them do that. You can't let them sacrifice you to achieve their ends and whatnot. You have to make Stephanie Ribeiro and all of her associates liable, okay, for egregious slander. You have to pursue that, okay? Okay, here in the States and abroad, okay? You have to pursue that situation, okay? We can't take a step back. We have to go forward, okay? You have to go forward, okay? You made your videos, okay? You didn't do anything wrong. There are tons of videos saying the same things that you said from different people, different ethnicities, but they chose you, okay? And they chose you because you're a black man, a straight, cisgendered black man that they perceive as weak, all right? It's a great feeling of black misandry that they are unable to look at their men truly, all right, Austin? Is the greatest failing, is the greatest weakness that they have, is that they are unable to see us as men. Okay, I'm not saying this in some part of a misogynist rant. This is not a misogynist rant. I'm telling you that you have legal recourse. All right? I have not seen Stephanie Ribeiro and her associates, her assorted goons, pop up on anywhere else but Tanya TKO's website and shit. So I think that you should start the ball rolling and contact an attorney, and you should start downloading all of Tanya TKO's videos that mention you. Okay? You should start putting those out. You start downloading all of those shits. It's very simple. Okay? And I think you should first trademark your name as an LLC and shit, so that you can sue people that use it. All right? And once you do that, I think you should pursue a lawsuit against Tanya TKO and try to subpoena her phone records. Okay? You must subpoena her phone records to find out who she's talking to. And then I saw that other gentleman in one of her live chats. All right? You can pursue that gentleman. You can, find out who he is and shit, and extend that litigation to him, and try to get his phone records and shit, and find out who he's talking to. Try to get his internet, history. All right? You should subpoena that shit, because there needs to be consequences for this behavior. A lot of the sisters are just going on their programming. They can't break their programming by themselves. We have to help them by making sure that they know that there's consequences for their actions, okay? There's consequences for this shit. Don't sit down and do nothing. Don't lick your fucking wounds. Okay, Austin? Don't do that. Don't hide. Be out front, okay? You can't help it. Even if you want to hide and under your bed and shit and be a beta male, they already got your image, okay? They already got your fucking image. They can do whatever they want with your photograph. This is why I told you that you should trademark your likeness and your name, okay? And they're going to have to pay you. They're going to have to pay you for that shit. Every time they say your name, they're going to have to pay you. All right? And I think you should have your attorney file litigation, Tanya TKO, and pursue litigation against Stephanie Ribeiro and contact the Brazilian consulate. All right? Or whatever, you know. I don't know what to tell you. Now you can start a GoFundMe or something. I don't know what your finances are like and shit. But there must be consequences for this. Okay? We must make them pay. And they got to pay you money. Okay? And going forward, you get yourself a fucking Patreon and you continue your whatever it is you do behind the paywall and make them pay you for every bit of it. Okay? Pay you. Right? And I want you to stay on Tanya TKO's bumper. Okay? She didn't learn shit from the Tasha K, Cardi B situation. Okay? A lot of these women don't understand shit. All right? And we'll start riding their ass, okay? Riding them and shit. However you think of that, you know, whatever image comes to mind. Okay? Start like throw that rope around, start, you know, jump on their back and they jump and kicking their feet in the air and shit. I don't care if nobody take this audio and do what the fuck they want to do it, because I'll come for you if you know, I know how to get receipts. Austin, this on you, bro. Okay? You can let them railroad you if you want. You can hide under your fucking bed. Okay? Why you hiding under the bed? They're gonna take your likeness and they're gonna demonize you. And by proxy, they're gonna demonize us. Okay? Us. Do it for us, Austin. Okay? Do you understand? Do it for us.
This message has been paid for by the Dusties. Yes, the niggas you love to hate.